We shall resist any attempts by the opposition to force or to blackmail government. We have no key to any server.
President William Ruto has just chaired Kenya Kwanza Parliamentary Group meeting in State House ahead of the resumption of House business this afternoon. I'll now invite the Honorable Kimani Ichungwa, the Majority Leader of the National Assembly, to address you.
We shall resist any attempts by the opposition to force or to blackmail government to implement policies that have failed. And particularly, because Emmanuel, I think you are the one who has asked about the issue of unga going to 100 shillings. You will remember, there's a gentleman from NTV, you will remember there was no unga that was available to Kenyans at 100 shillings. You will also recall the former Cabinet Secretary Agriculture, Peter Munya, asserting that the subsidy program for unga was unsustainable and was called off way before the election. You are also aware that the same program has been questioned by none other than the Auditor General and the Comptroller of Budget. That the subsidy programs that they are now trying to blackmail government to reinstate were programs that were designed to loot billions of shillings from the Kenyan people. And that is why we have asserted as a parliamentary group that we shall support the government's policies towards subsidizing production to enable cheaper food land on the tables of Kenyans. Two, the other issues I think that listening to our colleagues in the opposition is issues that we have stated that we want to adhere, and we have called on them in our statement, to also to adhere to the rule of law and the Constitution. They are asking us to open servers. This parliamentary group has asserted that we have no key to any server other than the key to open the economic servers to reinstate our economy to where it ought to be. On IEBC servers, that matter was well addressed by the Supreme Court. The opposition is within its rights to seek a review under the Constitution and under the law from the Supreme Court on the issue of any servers that they think was not done by the Supreme Court. They can go back to the same Supreme Court. On the reinstatement of the Cherera 4, there are no provisions under any law or under our Constitution to reinstate officers, public officers who have voluntarily resigned from public office, or those who have been removed from public office, as the case was by for Commissioner Masit. And I think on the cost of living, we were clear. We shall support the government's policies that are what we sold to the people of Kenya when we went around the country campaigning. And we sold policies to the people of Kenya that the people of Kenya agreed with by voting for the Kenya Kwanza government. Therefore, the failed policies of the last regime cannot and shall not be forced on either government or the people of Kenya, because the people of Kenya rejected them in the elections. Thank you. I think we are good.
The decisions that we arrived at today were made after a consultation with the representatives of the people from across our country. And the instructions that our team have are to limit their conversation on matters that are of great concern to the people of Kenya, re the IEBC, with regards to that bipartisan committee. With regards to the issue of a cost of living, as you have spoken about, we have reaffirmed as a PG that we believe that the policy this government has put in place are working. That is why 6 months ago, Kenyans were buying unga at 230 shillings. But today, if you walk into any supermarket, you'll be able to achieve or to buy it at 180 or 190 shillings. That is a price that has gone down. So we are willing to educate and teach our colleagues from the opposition on how the programs that this administration is running are working. What we are not willing to engage is the failed policies that were done under the handshake government. Where, as we speak today, the Auditor General has flagged that 34 billion Kenya shillings cannot be traced. If you meet the millers, they will tell you they haven't been paid. If you meet Kenyans, if you gather a group of 100 Kenyans, you'll be lucky to get maybe one or two who bought unga at 100 shillings. So Kenyans did not see the unga, the millers were not paid, but the money is not there to be accounted for. Surely, is that the kind of policy that you want us to pursue? So I believe we are on the right track, and with regards to the cost of living, this PG has affirmed the position of this administration that the policies that have been put in place are yielding results, and we shall continue to pursue them.